Hi, I'm Mike from Michael's Motor Cars, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and today we have a snowy day outside in Lancaster, so it's a good day to do an inside video. Today we have a very special 1970 Triumph TR6, so come on over and take a look at it. You'll notice if you watch some of the videos that we do on these cars and the history of the cars that I purchase and that we're selling on consignment for people, one of the common threads is I love knowing the history of the car, knowing who did the car, and kind of a little bit of the backstory on the car. This car is a consignment for us. I'm working with a very good friend of mine who has a significant collection of cars. He has pre-war Alphas, he has pre-war Bentleys, a 3-liter Bentley, Cisitalia. I've gone on tours with him, Colorado Grand, Mille Miglia, and he just loves cars. And he loves adding a performance element to his cars. The distinction with him is he treats all his cars the same. So whether it's a pre-war Alfa Monza or a Triumph TR6, it gets the same treatment done to it. So what that means is when he restores or does a car like a Triumph, he does it to a much higher level than a car at this level would normally be done. The results are always fantastic. And then he plays with the cars for a while, and then he sells them, and then he buys something else. He likes the journey of finding a car and doing all the work to it. This particular Triumph he did as a project. It is one of the best, nicely done Triumphs I've seen in a long time. To begin with, it's a 1970 TR6, so it's an early TR6. What he did, the motor itself, which I'll show you, it's a built motor. It's a stage 1 motor. So it has head work was done to the cylinder head, ported and polished, has a performance camshaft, has high compression pistons. It's a balanced motor. The crank was polished. So it also has 2 McCuney carburetors on it, which are just the combination, and please watch the driving video. The car is phenomenal. To drive the car, it has all of the regular elements of the straight 6 Triumph. It's very smooth. It has a lot of torque. The difference is it revs like crazy. Much more power, much more distinctive torque and power curve. And the minute you start this engine, it starts up borderline like a race motor. The one thing I will mention, and I mentioned this in the driving video, these carburetors do not have chokes. So this car does require a warm-up period. You just have to sit and wait and let it warm up a little bit. So if that bothers you, you'd have to change the carbs. But they are set up, they are definitely performance carbs, they flow beautifully. The way the engine runs and drives is just phenomenal. So the car itself, and when he does his cars, to say he goes overboard is an understatement. All of the chrome is new. He does every little detail on the car is beautifully done. The car has a very nice, gorgeous burgundy paint job on it. He has Sprint Classic radial tires on it. To the best of my knowledge, it is a stock suspension setup. Everything is new. The springs are new. All the bushings are new. It was a body off frame restoration. You can see from our chassis photos, the frame was all painted and refurbished. And you can clearly see when you see the chassis photos, it's a body off, a full restoration on the car. It's the way I love cars, because I know Bruce well, and he loves the performance on his cars, and he builds them to perform. Here you can see the McCuney carburetors that just perform incredibly well. A lot of details. The engine compartment it really is this clean when you see the car in person. He has added a electric cooling fan to the radiator. I always like to see that. It definitely keeps the temperatures down. The car does not have its original fan, so that's gone, but he has an electric cooling fan on it. Of course, he finished the inside of the engine compartment correctly. It's painted the body color. He also has a pigtail here for a charger that goes for the battery, but just everything on it is beautifully done. All of the nuts and bolts line up the way they should. Everything is painted correctly, and just really, really nicely done. Coming to the interior of the car, typical for him, he did everything. He upgraded. The seats are now leather. They are black leather. They're beautiful. They're new. This car essentially has had very few miles driven since the restoration. So the whole interior is new. He also put a new wooden dash in. That is new. The top of the dash, the bottom of that dash, everything is new. The covers around the turn signals are new. He put, I think, a nice steering wheel, more for performance. It's a great grippy wheel. Door cards probably are all new. Again, excellent fit, nicely done. We do have, and I do want to mention this, we have the VIN plate right here on the car, beginning with CC and then the number, and that is what's on the title to the car. There is, and we've run into this before, this car came from California before. California, many times we've seen, puts a prefix on the titles. So you will see a prefix on this VIN on the title saying California, and it's a 1970 car, and then the VIN of the car. But the correct VIN plate is on the door sill. We also have, we'll put the top up and take photos of that. We have a new boot cover. On the rear of the car, same thing. I love the look of the polished gas cap. As I mentioned before, he has a lot of pre-war cars, so when you know him, you'll see little details that he does that he likes to pull from different time periods with his cars. The rear chrome is all new. The lenses, I suspect, are all brand new because they have that new look. He did the correct blackout on the rear of the car and the cam tail. It does have a cool dual exhaust system, which is dual the whole way back. It has a very nice mellow sound, definitely a British six-cylinder sound. In the trunk of the car, again, everything is new going around. All the surround is all new. New carpeting, and I almost never see this where the little thing here is still working. To release this, we have a new spare tire, Sprint Classic, on a correct wheel that has been painted. And again, everything on the car is just beautifully done. We'll take pictures of all of this. You'll see it in the photo gallery. Even this, how all of his nuts and bolts, just the level of detail, because he's used to doing and oversees many restorations of some very high-end award-winning cars. Over here, the car also comes with a brand new tonneau cover. We'll put that on the car and take a picture for you. And we have a full car cover that comes with the car. Along the right side of the car, same thing. There are really, along the side of the car, no marks or dings. The paint is in excellent condition. This is also a key thing. The glove box actually works in that when you push the button, it pops out a little bit so you can open it. 90% of them never do that anymore. So it's just stuff like that is nice, and it latches correctly. He has a modern stereo system in the car that looks old, but it's modern. It's a Bluetooth system. It is an original 4-speed. Other than the motor being a Stage 1 developed motor, the rest of the car is still stock Triumph. So it handles and drives like a stock Triumph. The transmission, when he did the motor, of course, the whole clutch assembly was replaced and balanced. He also rebuilt the transmission, but he stayed with the original 4-speed Triumph Trans. It has new synchronizers in it and new seals and gaskets, of course, so that's all been done. So if you're looking for a Triumph TR6 and you want one that has very much an extra edge of performance, but is a very drivable, usable car and ready to be enjoyed, please consider this car. It is definitely, it stands out among TR6s in how it drives and performs. It looks stock until you look at the motor and see the carbs, but it's just the driving experience is very different than a stock one. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be happy to provide any additional photos or more descriptions of the car. It is being sold. We do have a clear Pennsylvania title on the car. It is ready to go. It has been serviced. And I hope someone buys this car who truly can appreciate what's been done to it, the level it's been done to, the care that was put into the restoration, and the performance side to it, the little angle of the extra performance makes it a really cool Triumph. So thanks for taking the time and watching our video.